2023 Audi S3 vs 2023 Audi A1. Design: Audi S3. Perhaps the most striking thing about the styling of the new Audi is just how similar it looks to the old model. Okay, this is not a new thing with Audi, which has made a point of not throwing a handsome design into the dumpster in pursuit of new for new's sake. As such, the exterior lines are taut and typically Audi clean, and, with the latest LED headlights and a refinement of the Audi trapezoidal grille, the look is fresh and crisp without being a novelty act. Inside, the virtual dash display and large, relatively flat center console almost amount to anti-styling. Or it would if the rest of the deal wasn't so sharply angled towards a philosophy of less is more. Again, this is classic modern-era Audi, where the game is to make a complex layout look as simple as possible. The face-level air vents also seem to have borrowed a little Lamborghini, part of the Audi family, DNA. I particularly like the new shift-by-wire gear selector, which is a nifty-looking switch but works just as intuitively as a conventional shift lever. New tech meets old muscle memory, I'm calling it. It's worth mentioning, again, just how good Audi's customizable dashboard display is. With sharp, clear graphics and the ability for the driver to prioritize the information on display at the time, the S3's display is still about the best in the business. Overall, ergonomics have always been a long suit of this brand, and there's been a clear intention to follow that tradition this time around. Audi A1. I don't think I've seen a better transformation between generations than the current A1. In its previous guise it was bubbly and cute, but now it's an angular brute. This version's S-Line sports body kit and funky 18-inch alloy wheels certainly help in that regard, but even the standard lighting signatures, LEDs front and rear, make it stand out as anything but a cutie pie city car. The good news is that it hasn't grown too much, either. Sure, it is a bit bigger, measuring 4,029 mm, on a 2,563 mm wheelbase, 1,740 mm wide and 1,409 mm tall. The last one was smaller, 3,973 mm long on a 2,469 mm wheelbase, 1,746 mm wide and 1,422 mm tall. But this one isn't elephantine in its proportions and so remains simple to park and squeezy enough to be considered a light car by industry standards. And there are some really playful colors available. Like this turbo blue, which is only for this spec, and python yellow. There's also black, green, red, 3 different grays, and 2 whites. The only issue is that flat white, Cortina white, is the only no-cost paint option. The rest will set out back $490 for Tioman green or the blue you see here, or $990 for the rest. And then you can option the paint with a black roof for $1,380 combined with blue or green, or $1,880 in all the other colors. The black exterior styling pack adds black highlights around the grille and on the front and rear bumpers. Those little Audi 4 ring stickers on the rear doors are standard on this spec. But to be honest, it stands out no matter what color you choose, and that's enough to get people's heads turning on the street. And the interior design? Well, it has some good and bad points. See the interior pictures below to make up your own mind. While SUV owners are often quick to tell you that they bought their car for its interior space, the truth is sometimes different. And without the huge wheel wells and suspension towers of a high-riding SUV, the conventional hatch or sedan often has an advantage. Certainly, there's no lack of room in the S3, and the hatchback version has a wide hatch opening to make loading easier. The sedan, however, is a full 150 mm longer than the hatch, and that extra is all behind the rear seat. So the boot is actually very usable with a capacity of 325 liters. Audi claims the same 325 liters for the Sportback, but that figure jumps to 1145 liters with the rear seat folded flat. The rear seat in either variant is handily split 40/20/40ths, and there are storage nets on the back of each front seat, luggage nets in the cargo area, and 12-volt outlets in both the center rear and luggage compartment. Even floor mats are standard. There are elements of the A1's cabin design that are tremendous, and other bits that are not so tremendous. The bad bits include the fact you're paying about $50,000 on the road for a car that has hard plastic just about everywhere the eye can see. The good bits are that the textured plastics on the dash are beautiful, and so are the designed elements on the doors. I love the door handles, I love the metallic finish, I love the layout and I love the way it makes you forget that you're in a luxury branded car with hard plastic all around you. The media screen and digital dashboard help too. It feels technical and premium in the driver's seat as a result. The graphics are crisp and clear, the menus are mostly easy to navigate, but I had some issues getting Apple CarPlay to work. It has wireless CarPlay, and I had it plugged in, so perhaps that was confusing things. But the Audi media system also includes Audi Connect in this spec, meaning there are real-time map, traffic and hazard updates, plus a Wi-Fi hotspot, fuel prices, parking, weather and Google Maps and services. It's high-tech, and if that's what you like, this is definitely going to please you more than a Mini Cooper. Practicality is good, with bottle holders in all 4 doors, cup holders between the front seats and a covered center console and wireless charging bay in front of the shifter. In the back, storage is sparse. Aside from the door pockets, there's nothing, no cup holders, no map pockets. There is enough space for 4 adults in the A1, so if you plan to take your mates to brunch or if you've got young kids, you should be comfortable enough in here. I had the driver's seat set for my own height, 182 centimeters, and I was able to slide into the rear seat without much fuss at all, with adequate knee and toe room and decent headroom too. Try and fit 3 across the back and it'll be uncomfortable, unless those 3 are very slim. There are dual ISOFIX child seat anchor points and 3 top tether points, and the seat structure is pretty flat, making fitment of these types of seats simple enough. The boot capacity is good for a car of this size at 335 liters, which is a solid 20% bigger than before. You won't find a spare under the boot floor, though, as all A1s have an inflator kit. The back seats fold down to allow 1090L of cargo capacity, but there's a ledge you have to contend with if you're trying to load larger items in. Maybe skip the IKEA trips in this one, then. There's only one trim level across the S3 range, so it doesn't matter whether you choose the sedan or hatch, the level of standard kit remains the same. And extensive. As with many performance variants of a platform, what you're paying for in the S3 is the hardware that allows it to be a more aggressive, more involving drive. So, compared with the A3, the S3 gets much more engine performance, bigger brakes and improved suspension. Inside, the S3 runs to S-specific trim and presentation, instrument display, steering wheel, standard heated, powered, 4-way lumbar adjustable sports seats, a black headliner and the 15-speaker Bang & Olufsen stereo that's a $1,500 option on some variants of the A3. The interior is also home to a 10.1-inch info screen, dual-zone climate control, an auto-dimming mirror, keyless entry and push-button start, wireless phone charging, rain-sensing wipers, park assistance and acts as a Wi-Fi hotspot. Connectivity runs to Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and SatNav.